Ahoy, fellow Pathfinders.
And welcome aboard the Joy of Trek, a geodesic podcast exploring the creases and folds of Star Trek.
All of it.
I'm Cocky.
I'm Kay.
And geeking out over Richard McGonigal is your chief engineer, Greg.
Together, we're on a
that?
mission through the dangerous anomalies of Star Trek to find the fist in every skull
What?
and the excellence in every episode.
Even the duplicitous Davo girls.
Because every episode must be someone's favorite, and it might as well be ours.
So stalk your therapist and join us as we join Riker and Diana's polycule in
The Joy of Trek.
Ooh. That last one took a fun swerve.
I think they don't know what geodesics means, but, you know.
Okay, yes, because I had that one written down.
Okay.
Not so much as one that I wanted to talk about, but that I guess that you'd want to talk about.
Not really. I mean, I only picked up on it due to the chief putting it in the...
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Joy of Trek. Thank you for joining us. Did you guess which episode we're talking about today?
That is right. We are doing Voyager, Season 7, Episode 6, Inside Man.
First aired on November 8th, 2000, written by Robert Doherty and directed by Alan Croker, and apparently featuring Richard McGonigal. And
Who's Richard McGonigal? Name sounds familiar, but I can't really place it right now.
Maybe if I...
You know how I am with names. It's like I'm terrible. I mean, is that maybe the Admiral or the
I thought his name was different. I remember looking that up, and I should have done a quick sort of note check.
Know.
I'm just doing a quick... Oh, no, he's Pete. He was the other Starfleet officer.
Barclay's boss, basically.
Hey, Chief, can you tell us what he's been in?
So Richard McGonigal has just been in a bunch of stuff. He was in The A-Team with Dwight Schultz. He was in 21 Jump Street. He was in Quantum Leap. He was in an episode of TNG. He was in Wayne's World. He was in Seinfeld and Wings. He was just an actor that's been in a ton of stuff. He's also done a lot of voiceover stuff. Most specifically, why I know him as the voice of Victor Sullivan from the Uncharted series. That is where I know him. That's my, canonical Richard McGonigal. He's Sully. I love Sully. He's fantastic. That's it. I love Sully. I love the Uncharted games, so yeah.
Okay, that's literally the only one that I know of that entire list.
Whoa,
I mean,
did you just hear the Chief for the very first time?
I think I might have, yes.
Whoa, this is really weird. Maybe there's Ferengi poking through our temporal vortex.
I mean, there's no red stars in this recording studio, but...
I mean, they technically called it a red giant, and there have been mornings where I've woken up with what can be classified... Anyway, hello, everyone. This week's episode was about...
Oh.
Yeah, that's your...
Oh, wait.
Yeah, remember?
You usually phrase that entirely differently.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, we'll do it different. And Kay, what was the episode about? Sorry, you're right.
Let's see. What was the episode about? I think it was not about another time that Lieutenant Barclay shows wildly inappropriate behavior in trying to deal with. No, that's what I said. It's another episode where Lieutenant Barclay shows wildly inappropriate in failing to deal with his own feelings.
Yeah, okay. Ooh.
I mean, I think there was also something happening on Voyager, but that was almost entirely insignificant to the plot.
Whoa. Okay, this is just opening something up to me. Because, Chief, what is the episode actually about?
The Pathfinder project makes contact with Voyager again, and this time they transmit a hologram designed by Reginald Barclay to interact with the crew. However, a certain group of aliens have seen a way to make a tidy profit.
What if all of this is an allegory for various aspects of social anxiety?
Okay, sure.
Right? You've got Red Barclay himself, who sort of deals with that in various forms, where, he's traditionally had a bit of a Cassandra problem. But actually quite brilliant.
Cassandra problem is the one that she won't, that's the, she will curse to all speak the truth, but no one were to believe her, right?
Yeah.
Right, yes.
In fact, of a prophet of the future,
yes.
But she would be unable to convince people to heed her dire warnings. But, he's numerous times made discoveries that were not taken seriously, and that he had to fight against his insecurities and other people's skepticism of him in order to be heard. And this is another example. But then there's also the hologram Reg and how he interacts with everyone and how that makes them more eager to believe this false, traitorous hologram.
That makes sense. It's that's typical thing. No? A con man who makes everybody laugh and jokes and puts people at ease is always easier to believe than a nervous nerd who's actually correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also 7. She also has a different aspect of social anxiety, right? Getting fitting in and wanting to fit in, and like how complicated her feelings are about that. Ooh, okay. So this is just something that I'm interested in now. Hey, what did other people think of this episode?
Ooh, well, it gets a 7.4 rating on IMDb, which is not reflected in the comments.
Interesting.
The comments seem to be quite a lot more negative than a rather somewhat positive review. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, Harbinger UK on IMDb says, I'm not a huge fan of any of the plots that involve Reg, because his character is so whining, but it's not a bad episode. It's just not good either.
All right.
I agree with his opinion on Reg, but other than that...
Yeah, okay, yeah, and yeah. Not everyone has to enjoy every character, of course.
I mean, I've always kind of found him as an easy, look at the awkward nerd guy with social issues character. I always thought it was a cheap character in that regard.
One doesn't know what was in the heart of the writers, but here's something that I learned from...
But as we know, we should disconnect the art from the artist, and It's
and in the case of Dwight Schultz, that's really important because he's a maggot piece of shit. But
is he now? Okay,
yeah, I think pretty bad. So I learned something from the documentary about DS9 and what we left behind. And the actor who played Ducat, Mark Limo, he actually spoke with Ira Bear that he never got feedback from the writers that he didn't know if he was being appreciated, and that's something that he long regretted. And then Ira went, but we kept hiring you, and we kept writing stories for you and your character.
Something you're doing right, yes.
And likewise with this is the point. Likewise with the character of Reg, he's annoying to a lot of people, but they did he did make enough of an impact on the fan base. People saw themselves in Reg, enough to want more Reg stories,
I guess. So as Flux Compensator says, Barclay times 2 does not equal twice the fun.
Okay, fine.
I mean, I can kind of see what they come. On the other hand, it does show an interesting distinction between the Barclay, the Reggie as we know him, and the new hologram, who we don't exactly know. I mean, he says that because of his social anxiety, he's the Reginald has made him to be more confident and a nice person. But we don't know if that's actually Reginald or if that's the Ferengi who did that.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting little dichotomy that you never know which one of the things that you see the hologram do, if it's the Ferengi's programming or if it's Barclay's programming.
Yeah, true.
And Wolfstar at MDB says everything about this episode is very stupid. The only good thing is Dwight Schultz's dual performance, which I agree. I mean, it's a fantastic acting performance.
Yeah.
And Commander Harkins, how he's firm and understanding with Barclay, but still firm. And he says, this episode starts well, but falls to pieces less than halfway through, and then somehow keeps getting worse and worse. So It was not particularly well loved as by the commenters.
I think.
Okay.
Well, it was clearly loved by someone because they recommended it.
Yes,
to us.
Tell. Who did recommend it?
Inside Man was recommended by Rugger, friend of the show.
Yep.
And they say, when people talk of this episode, they usually say it's a repeat of Season 6's Pathfinder, where Barclay is clever but ignored by Commander Harkins, so Barclay has to prove himself right. And it's 2 episodes after the Starfleet data stream was hacked by another party to the detriment of Voyager. Plot-wise, they're right, but the plot isn't why I love this episode. Barclay instantly became one of my favorite Star Trek characters from his introduction as Lieutenant Broccoli, and Voyager made me love him even more. Barclay is a socially inept, self-doubting genius, and aside from when he merged with the Enterprise, he has remained in that role. In this episode, awkward Barclay cannot save the day with engineering or cleverness. All he can do is talk. It is a fantastic moment that serves as an excellent capstone on the side character's arc, who found confidence in his engineering and, after 10 years, his voice. Also, it's a sheer delight to watch Dwight portray 2 vastly different characters with such zest. Dwight played Murdoch in the A-Team, and that versatility really shows in this episode. Hell yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Love that. I mean, there's a few little things when you can see him actually as an actor really performing really well. When you see him talking to the doctor, and you can see this there's little twitches around his mouth. Absolutely fantastic acting there.
Yeah. The sort of comedic actors are often very good in really sinister roles.
Yes.
What's the guy from Breaking Bad?
Oh, yes.
Chief, relax, we'll get it. Bryan Cranston.
Yes, thank you.
You can say it too, Chief.
Also from Power Rangers, but...
Yes, he was a highlight of that film, I thought. He also had an episode of Babylon 5 where he was like a ranger. But like he started off as an incredibly comedic actor, like in Malcolm in the Middle. He was the dad. He was fantastic. Yeah. And like Joss Whedon has remarked on this before, like comedy is the hard one. If you can do that as an actor, you can do a lot else.
Right. Okay.
So he liked to cast comedic actors as like villains or for dramatic roles.
Get him in a different role entirely, yes.
Robin Williams, what's it called? Carrie Thingamy, the...
Fisher.
No, the clown, the male, like, not Drew Carey.
Oh, yes, the Muppet.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the guy from It, which is...
Oh, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, yes.
I recently watched the Ghibli film The Cat Returns, and it has an amazing voice cast, including like Anne Hathaway, Renee Auberjonois, and Tim Curry.
Oh, wow.
But Tim Curry does a voice, and so you don't recognize him.
Oh, yeah, I guess that
he
makes
does
sense.
a southern drawl,
Meow.
and like...
Oh, sorry, I think you might have done the cat.
You would have thought, but no, none of that. It's like, hey, baby, what's going on?
It's like Alan Tudyk in Moana doing the chicken.
The chicken. Anyway... Do we have any warp cores to dump, or do you want to vent a little bit of plasma about geodesic and what it does or doesn't mean?
I mean, the only geodesic thing in this entire episode is the structure of the holodeck. That's a geodesic structure.
What is that like tiling?
Kinda. I mean,
or is it tiling to form a higher dimensional object?
I think so. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, you usually see it used as in a geodesic dome. Which is like,
traditionally pentagons, hexagons.
A dome built out of the structure like that. Other than that, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, words mean whatever they need to mean in Star Trek, so...
That's true.
Let's see, have we got any other? No, let's see... a little plasma event, I don't know. I mean, I could probably sit and do some calculations and shoot some more holes in how fast warp speed is, but...
Yeah, a lot of people went like, well then, if it's 0.7 light years and it takes an hour, then it's only going like warp 5 or 6.
Which is entirely possible. That could be maximum warp for that particular ship. We don't know. We don't know that.
That's like really slow for a Starfleet vessel.
I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe it's an old one, you know?
Exactly. It's just USS Carolina.
It just happens to be the one that's closest in the area. It's like it could be an older model. It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
There you go. All right, then are we ready to warp into this episode?
I think we are.
So we open with Voyager and a captain's log that says...
Last month's data stream from Starfleet never arrived, so the crew is looking forward to this one with even more anticipation than usual.
Paris is whining to...
Kim,
thank you, about, like, I want my mail. Like, I've been doing my chess correspondence course with, like, and it's like, I'm 2 moves behind now and he's killing me.
So they're in a phase where the Pathfinder project by Lieutenant Barclay is using a defunct old communication network built by other aliens, built by the Hirogen or used by the Hirogen, I'm not entirely sure, in combination with a special Federation telescope that enables them to send about once a month a burst of data
right, yes,
to the Delta Quadrant to be received by Voyager.
And they can now, and also receive something back from Voyager without a similar array.
Yep.
Yeah.
And apparently these have been, I mean, you can imagine what it's like for the crew of the Voyager to receive letters from home.
Oh, hang on. I just got one.
I saw your face.
I say we eject the warp core.
Ooh. Intercepting, like, this kind of communications? Like, where did the data stream stop? You don't, like... How do you stop a wavefront?
It's not a wavefront. It's a network. They're using a network of relays.
Right.
So in the diagram that you see later on, like, there is one straight line, but next to it, there's also like a network path, and they can see which node was the last one to have done a forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is about a third of the way to the Delta Quadrant. So those Ferengi are pretty far away.
Yeah, well, Star Trek and distances has never been... I mean, this is the first time that on Voyager, the Gamma Quadrant's existence is mentioned. Oh, right,
yes. I was going to say, why are you whining about, like, if you end up in the Gamma Quadrant, then you can take the bloody wormhole back.
Oh, yeah. That's in there.
This doesn't sound like a bad outcome, you know?
I mean, a quadrant is like a fourth of the galaxy, so you might still be you might still be farther away from the wormhole than from the...
I suppose, technically.
Do we know where the wormhole is? It might be on the other end.
Particularly mentioned.
I know. There's people who make efforts to make maps and stuff, and that's really cool. But
it's very difficult to make a map if the person who's describing to you what's on the map is just making it up as they're going along.
Yeah.
So there's I think it's a podcast or something when someone is really bitching about like loads of fantasy maps and stuff. If there's mountains, then there's supposed to be foothills. You can't just go from straight into the mountain range.
Very good. See,
although apparently the Rocky Mountains are a bit of an exception because they just go straight out of the plane, I'm told.
Okay, so I grew up looking at the Rockies every single day. There's some foothills there. There are areas that I know people who live in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. They do kind of still just jut up from the plane. It's very dramatic when you're driving and you suddenly start to see them just appear over the horizon. But they do have some foothills. It's just less.
Or as in Yellow Submarine, when they're like going through the landscape and there's all these feet sticking out of the ground. It's like, what's this? We're in the foothills. Of what? Of the headlands. And then the next frame you see them, all these big heads coming out of the ground. Anyway.
Wait. On the next or previous Patreon episode that I recorded with Greg while you were away, there's a bit where McCoy is going through medical records, or Kira is doing that or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And she's reading this when she thought that when Curzon told the story about how he and Sisko dated the 7-foot Drulian twins, she thought that meant their height. But no, they actually had 7 feet.
Very nice.
Anyway, Harry
between them or each?
Oh my God. Some of them would have been between them. Like, there's no real position that you can get into that doesn't have some feet between them.
Was there any mention if they were conjoined twins? I mean, that would...
No. Listen to the Patreon.
Okay.
Subscribe to our own Patreon.
So it turns out they had like the transmission failed, or it was way too big because it looked like they got a hologram data.
Yeah, because he's been up all night to try and like detangle this mission because, like so many of us, early in the morning,
it's jammed the transceiver. 7.
Yeah, we've all been there. Wow, the cat has some zoomies today, by the way.
Yeah,
she's all over the place.
She is just like going around. She's just like attacking the ceiling again. She's got it in for the ceiling recently,
and. Tom is really insistent, like, we need our letters. We can't go another month without. And Harry Kim says, don't worry, I've got this. And then he destroys all the letters.
Well, actually, I believe what happens is when he goes in and he talks to 7, it's like 7 goes like, yeah, I figure out why we're having difficulties.
Oh yeah, that's
because it's not letters, it's a hologram.
Aha.
At which Kim immediately goes like, oh well, in that case we have to hurry before the signal degrades.
And he's doing something that...
I'm not sure why that would work, because like why that would be a problem. Because other holographic data, you can just transmit like hologram programs and everything.
Yeah, but there's also like, it's sort of like transporter data can also degrade.
But it's not, because it's holographic data, which you can stop and... Well, anyway, which you can't do with...
It might be quantum. Is that something?
Well, I don't know. Not that
it might be quantum, that if the... Oh, I watched a science fiction series called Beacon 23, which has based on a book, the same book as a writer as Silo.
Oh, right, yes.
Right, who wrote the Wool series. Anyway, this one is like in a future where like light speed travel is much more difficult for some reason, and a major currency is qubits, because a qubit is a deep frozen module with a quantum entangled quantum particle in it that you can use for instant communication.
Right. Oh, very nice. Yeah.
And that's a unit of currency, as in people pay with them, because you can have one moment of instant communication.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Right?
Yeah. So, despite the big shortages they've had on Voyager, Kim decides to fire off one of the sparklers to to save the data.
Yep. Overloaded the transceiver.
But I saved the hologram.
And they head into Voyager's holodeck, which, the first time I saw it, I remember being outraged that it's not a black and yellow grid. It should be yellow grid. It should be smooth. But
isn't this supposedly the auxiliary one, which they put in one of the cargo bays?
They have multiple, but they all look like this.
Oh, they do. Okay, I know, because I know that like in one of the earlier episodes, there's talk about like because there's like not enough holodeck capacity that they're converting one of the decks to
with emitters.
Right. Yes.
I think later the implication from the production team is that the Enterprise holodeck actually also looks like this, except it has
panels,
all that cladding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that just makes it easier to scrape the cum off.
Yes, exactly. It's when you have like cleaning the biofilters on the holodeck duty. Yes.
And they activate the hologram, and they go,
Lieutenant Barclay?
No, but he introduces himself as...
Sign me. I'm a walking, talking, problem-solving, interactive hologram.
Call me Reg.
Yeah. Oh, he's so slick, that grin. And he's excited, this hologram, to meet Harry 7, the captain.
And he is making them the promise that they've had so many times before.
With any luck, in a few days, you'll be seeing them face to face.
Oh. Yeah, we really believe that in episode 6 of the final season of that's when they're going to get home. Uh-huh.
So, yes, there's going to be a red star, or red giant star. I think that's what they're talking about.
Yep. And they go, yeah, we detected that already. But a whole bunch of technobabble.
In 72 hours, they will target its magnetic field with a verteron beam, creating a geodesic fold.
It'll kill everybody going through.
Yeah, so apparently it's possible for one spaceship on one side of the galaxy to do something to a red giant star there that will have an effect on the other side and create a portal.
As long as they have like some sort of matching mass or whatever, like wibbly-wobbly space quantum time entanglement thing.
Yep.
It's a little bit glossed over, but yes.
And apparently this hasn't come up before because...
The quadrants.
Our shields are useless against geodesic radiation.
Right.
We toyed with the idea of opening a fold ourselves, but it didn't take us long to realize we wouldn't survive the trip.
But fortunately, we have new research.
Yes, so much is improved. Now, Kay, at which point did you start to suspect a holo Reg?
Ooh, I can't honestly answer that one because I knew a little bit about in doing the research about how the episode was structured. The game was given away for me. I knew that there had been Ferengi involvement, so it was very easy to read. If you're looking for it, it's very easy to read in this scene.
Yes, yeah, because Reg, this hologram, I started reading him as a gaslighter.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and the sort of signals that he was giving off, like the vibe was just way
it's
off.
Always like, oh no, don't worry, we're taking care of that, and oh no, that's like, oh, my brilliance or Reginald's brilliance that's clearly something that was probably programmed in by Reg himself. To let the hologram give all the credit back to him rather than hold it for.
Do you want to take a position like whether this confidence was indeed written in by Reg, or whether that was written in by the Ferengi?
No, absolutely, because that's Reg's fantasy. Remember that if you see the holodeck fantasies, it's his like fantasy to be a cool, confident guy.
That is true. So you think it's Reg?
Yes.
Then I think it's the Ferengi, because this is the way that they do scams.
Right.
They're confidence people.
Yeah, with true. Yeah. Also, like with how good they are with subverting technology. Why the f*** do they have to go around stealing shit? Like they could be like.
Yeah. Well, I guess, I remember back in the early 2000s, I saw a documentary about one of those, Nigerian prince email scams, and it was like an organized criminal outfit that was working out of an office in Amsterdam. This was before the model was as it is today, where they ensnare innocent people to do their scamming for them, which is really awful. But they were doing it themselves, and like they just had an office, and they had cubicles, and they had like scripts, and now you're going to these are the four roles that you're going to be playing today, depending on which of these phone goes off. And it was so well organized. You guys could just do jobs, right? You could probably you could do a legit business with this kind of effort.
Well, yeah, but then you need a business model, and that they just happen to latch onto a business model which is like illegitimate.
Yeah, I think Ferengi just wouldn't be satisfied if they weren't scamming someone.
I don't know. I mean, is there don't you think there are Ferengi who just want to earn honest profit?
Define honest profit.
Ooh.
Right? And here's the thing. Right. Is a deal good when you get more out of it than the other?
Well, the deal is good when both parties are satisfied.
Yeah.
But
is it better when they're satisfied, but you know that you got way more out of it than they got? Right? That's the scale.
Sure, but that presumes perfect information on both sides. And almost any deal, there is no perfect information on, but both sides don't have perfect information. Because one side might okay, I need this bar of copper-plated,
copper ingots.
Lydrinian.
So you need copper ingots. So you go to Aya Nasir,
and I go like, well, I have those, and I'll sell them for you a price that I know is twice what they're actually worth.
Yeah.
But you don't know that I actually need them to get a space relay working, which allows me to send a data transfer, which means I'm more than happy to pay above market value because they're serving up to me a purpose. Which is, so that's like, there's imperfect. And you think like, I swindled him. And you go like, well, yeah, it's like, sure, I paid more for it than I'm willing, than they're actually worth. But that's what you all do all the time, you know? It's like if you go to the hardware store and you buy like 3 washers and you pay through the nose per washer. But it's, I only need 3. And I don't want to wait 2 weeks. And I need them now.
Yeah.
So then it's worth me to pay extra for it. So it's,
So I see it almost from a personality or a cultural point of view, because I share this with you exactly. Like, I don't like interactions to go on longer than they need to, when I don't want to put the energy into, like, that's the price. Okay, that's fine. I have enough money. That's okay. And otherwise, I just don't do it. And I can also live with that. But I can imagine culturally, for a Ferengi, if they don't feel like the one who's getting the better end of the deal at the other's expense, then either it doesn't feel satisfying, or maybe... then they suspect, then I must have been swindled. Like, someone's got to be winning.
That makes sense, yeah. I mean, if they see everything as a zero-sum game, then...
Well put, yeah.
Then, if someone else is someone has to get the worst deal. Interesting, yeah.
Okay, so I think it's Ferengi program, you think it's Reg programming, and both of them are interesting perspectives on what that says about the actual Red Barclay.
All right, so Barclay gets the Doctor's holo emitter. Apparently there's only one of them and we can't replicate another one.
That's been the case for a while, because it's future technologies from the 26th century.
Oh, okay.
They got one in the 90s.
In the 90s?
Yeah, Voyager's wild like that.
Right,
they went back in time to 1990
sure.
and wound up with a 26th century piece of technology.
Okay, so there's only one. Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
Right, so here's the ship, blah, 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 geodesic fold, blah, blah, blah. And yes, basically the Barclay is told to start going. And he's quickly shooting off every problem. There's he's hand waving every issue and problem that any of the other crew mention.
And he's also recruiting them. He's giving them all jobs absolutely. That are and giving them sort of respect. This is what I need from you. This is what I need from you. Everyone gets to do their job. So it's a great sort of confidence scheme. Like, nobody's actually doing their own job. They all have a way to contribute to this idea, thereby skipping over the idea whether they agree with it or not.
Well, I suppose, yeah. I mean, that's not always... He's not handing that up, because, 7 of 9, comes up with that herself. And, you know, it's like, okay, I'm going to do that, and I've got the Doctor working on the inoculations, and, little self-conscious Neelix, do you have a job for me too? Oh, no, I'm not doing anything. Oh, no, you've got the most important job.
Because everyone's going to be working extremely long hours and...
They're going to need an experienced morale.
They've not
keep their spirits high.
They've not been doing that for the last 7 years. Walking on their toes almost constantly, and
we'll just dial up the workahol in the atmosphere another 10%. Yes, I know it's well in the lethal levels, but this crew has a high tolerance, very, very high tolerance over the last 7 years.
Yes, I suppose. I guess that's something that they can keep replicating.
And he holds this rousing speech, because if this were any other ship, I'd have my doubts. But this is Voyager, the miracle ship. And he lists off...
You've survived 6 years in the Delta Quadrant. You've evaded the Kazon, the Vidians, the erosion. You've even faced down the Borg.
Now, come on. If you heard that, wouldn't you feel...
No, that's obviously Ferengi flattering. That's that's part of the Ferengi part of the program.
Yeah.
This is where it gets really obvious that he's been tampered with, because that's not the kind of thing that Barclay would say. He'd be going on about the technicalities and about the this and that, and he's and that's completely being glossed over, because that's bullshit. That's the bullshit part. The Ferengi know that they're going to kill everybody on board the ship.
Yes.
So, and that's everything that's around, like the shield. Oh no, we'll work it out. The shield will self-compensate. Oh, if a little bit comes through, then the 10% increase in the standard vaccinations will catch that.
Yeah,
it's that's all glossed apart and hand waved away, and it's all about the confidence game, as you put it.
You're right. Oh, this is brilliant.
Anyway, so yes,
we have a skeptic on board who doesn't actually wind up contributing to solving the mystery, and that's Tom Paris.
Yes.
Because he goes,
Our shortcuts have a tendency to blow up in our faces.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's
like, remember when we did this, or the telepathic picture plant, or the slipstream drive, and whatever not, and this, and he lists off basically all the episodes in which, like, there was
there have
apparently
been quite
another...
a few.
Yeah.
Like, even the telepathic picture plant, that one was real. It's an episode called Bliss, and there's a lot of callbacks to previous episodes in this show. But Kim, ever the optimist.
This is the best opportunity we've had.
yeah, which is why we'll probably end up in the Gamma Quadrant.
Yeah, well, again, not so bad if you know where the wormhole is.
So the confidence game is really clever because whenever there's something that might be a complication to his plan, like they want to send a message back to Starfleet, once the thing is, he doesn't protest immediately. And the 7 of 9 has suggestions for something that the Borg do. They project a structural integrity field ahead of their ship, which is genius. And he lets it all happen because he knows I can probably stop that later on.
Right.
Now is the time for everybody to feel effortless and confident.
And work towards this common goal. Yeah.
And he asks her,
So, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get back?
Oh, just like my job.
Yeah. And this is a really, really interesting interaction because I thought, like, comparing Reg's social anxiety with 7 of 9's, they have very different personalities and very different relationships but they would be curious about each other.
I suppose, in a way, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't think that, like, 7 of 9 would be particularly curious about Barclay, but, I mean, curious about his technical ideas, but not about the person.
See, I think she would be, because he is someone who has, let's take an extreme word, a deficiency in social interactions, right? There's obstacles, it's something he struggles with, but he has a strong desire to do them anyway. Like he wants to be liked by people. And he's taken steps with the help of people like Deanna Troi to achieve that, to step outside of his confidence.
Sure, yeah.
And that's a much bigger step to take than for someone who's, at ease with themselves to do social interactions.
Okay,
so that's someone that she could learn from a lot more.
Okay,
right? Because if I want to, and sometimes she does, she wants to interact with people.
Right, that's what I was wondering about. It's like in how so far does that desire actually exist in her, or is it just something that she feels she should do?
That's also a valid question. And I think that's a question that she asked herself as well. She's not completely sure about that.
Yeah.
Because he asks her a bit more about why she's so reticent.
Yeah.
And she explains,
when I first arrived on Voyager, it was difficult for the crew to accept me.
Right.
I'm anticipating a similar welcome on Earth.
Then he goes, like, flattering her, like, oh, no, you are the person that they're most interested in. And this and that. Also, just a little comeback to, I've noticed in a lot of people, when they say, I want to X, they mean, I feel I should do X, which is not the same thing.
No, you're right. It's a very difficult thing to figure that out in your mind, like, for yourself.
Especially when it comes to quitting smoking, in my experience. But like, I want to quit smoking, and like, it's like, no, you don't really want to. You feel you should, and that's a different thing. But
you regret that you haven't.
Right? Yes.
But you do want to continue. Like those can exist in your brain at the same time, which seems paradoxical.
Yeah.
No, I understand what you mean there.
Anyway, so let's see, where are we going then?
Yeah, she goes, like, it's because I'm Borg. And he goes, you were Borg, but you escaped. And
despite incredible odds, you managed to reclaim your humanity. No one's ever done that before. You're famous.
Yeah.
Except for Picard and you. Yes,
you. Very good. Which she, as Borg, would know about.
I suppose so, yes. She would, yeah.
I mean, even the Federation, like Voyager probably knew about that before they left, so they'd have it in the databank. But she would defo know that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. How does that work with the Borg? I mean, they have access to it all. They don't, I mean, if she never had a need to access the information before she got deborged, then she probably might not know that. I don't know how it works. I mean, I can't imagine that every Borg has all the information. That doesn't seem feasible.
I don't know. Right, I don't know whether it's known that there are actually limits to human memory.
Okay.
Right, because the storage mechanism is very poorly understood and very holographic.
True.
So she might just, I mean, it does seem like a thing that she would know.
So we cut to the first scene back on Earth.
Yes.
Starfleet Federation headquarters on Market Street in San Francisco.
Ah, there you go.
And here we have the real Reg, who is fretting. It's like, oh no, the transmission failed again. Why could this happen? How is this possible?
Yeah, and here's where they've got the diagram. And if you look on the screen, like there's a straight line, and then next to it there's there's actually like 1,000 dots.
The trajectory ends in sector 39542,
grid 8.
Which is the last relay that did a forward. This is Reg talking to Pete Harlin,
which I think is his supervising officer or whatever.
Played by Richard McGonigal. And Greg, do you want to come in and tell us about Richard McGonigal again?
Yeah, Richard McGonigal was the narrator in 500 Days of Summer. He was Victor Sullivan in the Uncharted games. He was in Samurai Jack, Battle Through Time as the Ancient Kings. He was in Batman the Telltale series as Carmine Falcone. He was Mr. Incredible in basically any of the video game things because Craig Nelson's expensive, so he was just that. He's just been, again, I'm just kind of going through, and it's like, yeah, he's just been in a ton of stuff. But again, he is Sully. He is Victor goddamn Sullivan from the Uncharted series. And man, I love Sully. I know that Sully's kind of a lecherous old man, but I love that man, and I don't need a reason to love Richard McGonigal. Let me have this. Let me have this.
Oh, him.
Oh, you did it again. How can you hear him? You must be tuned into a very special frequency.
I guess, yes. Like maybe I'm listening in sector 39542, grid B.
Grid B, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
that's
grid 8,
right.
actually, not grid B. Anyway.
And he concludes,
there is something preventing the data stream from reaching Voyager.
And Pete is skeptical because there's nothing on long range.
For the second month in a row, we tried sending your hologram to Voyager. And for the second month in a row, it failed to get there.
And I want to know why, so it doesn't happen a third time.
It won't happen a third time.
Yep, we go back to standard transmissions, and he says,
sending a hologram to Voyager was a good idea, but it didn't work.
Yep, and
it's time to move on. Yep. It would have been a better idea to announce the intention before doing it.
Which, the intention to what?
Voyager didn't know that a hologram was incoming.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. That
like it only takes one more extra window.
Might have saved them the transceiver that they blew out.
Yeah, and various security risks. Like it's usually better for the receiver to know what's coming.
But yes, you're right. And like also like, signing your holographic transmissions with key pair so that you can see whether or not it's been tampered with, make sure that the checksum checks out. And all kind of like basic things.
Basic things that already happen with email.
Like, is the MD5 key of this hologram still the same as the one we sent? Like, is that in case some Ferengi tampered with it,
Oh, yes, because you can encrypt the hash with the public key.
You don't even have to. I mean, but yeah.
No, if you've only got one transmission, then the Ferengi could send their MD5,
Of course. Well, yeah, you do that.
If you can alter the message anyway, you can alter the hash.
Sure, yeah.
I feel very proud of myself for knowing this tech nerd shit, so I can talk with you, an expert, and the listeners at home are going, wow, isn't he clever? Gosh, I wish I could fake it as well as Kaki does.
Just as clever as Pete, who is giving a tour to a school class.
Yes, all these adorable children. Girl number 2, according to the trivia, is wearing a special dress that's also worn by someone else at one point.
Okay.
I did my homework, as you can tell.
Really? Yes. So, yes, she quizzes them about the Delta Quadrant and what's going on there, the Borg and the Ocampa and the Talaxians.
And who knows any other species? And Reg comes in.
The Borg! The Borg!
The Borg!
They've assimilated my hologram.
Yes.
Yeah, this is why Reg doesn't really get taken seriously very often.
No. So, yes, also there was spacecraft plus within 20 meters, and that must have been something. 20 meters! Don't you understand? It's 20 meters!
And it must have been the Borg. It must have been. Maybe it was carrying anti-Borg technology. Yeah. He's crying wolf.
If it wasn't them, that was the Romulans.
Yeah. Which is interesting, by the way, because
they've been curious about Voyager for years.
Has there been any evidence of that?
Okay, so there have been 2 connections between Voyager and the Romulans. Mm-hmm. One of them was an excellent first season episode called Eye of the Needle, where they discover a wormhole that's too narrow for the ship to pass through.
Yeah.
But a data stream can pass through, except the wormhole ends in the Romulan Empire.
Right.
And one of the Romulans beams over through that. And they give him messages, and at the end they realize it's not just a wormhole through space, but also through time. They were communicating with someone 120 years in the past, and they have no idea if he'll hold on to the message and pass them on.
Right. For this moment in time to come.
Yeah, which probably hasn't happened then. Right?
Possibly not. No, it doesn't seem like. Well, you don't know. I mean, the original Romulan might have had the intention to.
Yeah.
But like, unless they're still, I mean, if they're related to Vulcan, so they might still be alive 120
I think it'd be
years
quite
later.
long-lived. Yeah,
exactly.
But tricky and very secretive and like highly secure. But like that, or another episode with the EMH Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
Also an encounter with the Romulans. They might know about Voyager and be interested in it.
Sure. So Pete sends Barclay off on a holiday. It's like, how much have you saved up? Only about 50 or 60 days. I guess it's an American thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very Americanocentric here.
Yeah.
But yes.
Like, that probably sounds like a lot to the audience.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's more than I get, but, quite a bit more than I get. But still, even by year, especially if you had saved up. Yes, I've had colleagues who had like 2 or 3 years worth of holidays saved up, much to the chagrin of the management, by the way. But
well, yes, and that's why there's various regulations to prevent that from happening, because you should take holidays. It's part of mental and physical health, and
it also weighs very heavily on the books of the company if like a lot of people have a lot of holiday.
It's a huge risk.
Yeah.
if somebody decides to like hand in their 2 months' notice plus a 3 months backlog of
pay, yes,
that's a lot of a risk for a company.
Maybe I'll go somewhere.
Take a vacation, yeah.
And Pete offers, like, everyone tries to make offers to him. Like he says,
cousin has a beach house in Malaysia. She'd be happy to lend it to you.
And she's
they're all reaching out to him, but he already has an idea.
Yes, see, they're having this argument over that thing, the Two-Face, whatever it is, which...
Since Lower Decks, they have a name.
I know, I just can't remember what it is.
That
was it, right, yes.
It's where... what was it? Rutherford's rival invents a third tube.
Yeah, it's like improving.
Whoa!
It's like, I've improved the efficiency of the Tucker tube, and it's 0.9%. And goes like, whoa, he just added a third one, found to keep it stable. So now we're like, it's a 50% increase. No, they show up all the time.
I know, and not just in Star Trek and other things as well. They were just one of those props that was just sort of
kicking around and like, this looks sufficiently science fiction-y.
Yep. It's like a panel of lights and controls that you'll see in like Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon.
That was actually a particular computer.
Was it?
Yeah. That was, but yes, it was used in many science fiction shows because it's just lots of blinkenlichten.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Which originally computers didn't have, but way back in the day when it was still tubes and everything. And then, I think it was a military advisor because it was a DARPA project or something. Suggested just add some lights so it looks like it's doing stuff.
Yeah, very good. So here we have the Doctor talking to the other
Reg.
Reg, that's the one. And like, oh, yes, this is the whole bullshit about the vaccines. And like, this is just a standard stuff. Yes, but they've been improved by 10%. It should be enough.
But
if these treatments don't work, the crew will wind up liquefied.
Yeah, that's fine. It'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And he's currently reached the phase of dismissal. So where previously...
but only with the Doctor.
Yes, he's speedrunning with the Doctor. Because he seems to have this script where at first when people have other ideas, he accepts them. He's very supportive of them, like gaining their confidence. Now he's dismissing and moving on, trying to bank on the confidence that they have in him, which apparently the Doctor doesn't have as much, probably because he's a little bit annoyed that he doesn't have his mobile emitter.
But the Doctor is trying to like make amends and like trying to get Barclay to go out and play golf because apparently the person that the Doctor is based on and the person that Barclay is the hologram, they are friends.
Oh, I don't know that's it.
There's something that said about that later on. In the episode.
I know. The Doctor is based on someone called Zimmerman, who is actually kind of a grumpy person. I don't know that Zimmerman and Barclay know each other, or do they? It might be that the Doctor and actual Barclay know each other.
How would they? Has Barclay been around before?
No, they had the initial contact via the Midas array and the network. I don't know. But yes, he's got a bit of cabin fever, does the Doctor.
Yes, he's like not happy with being locked up in sick bay, and he tries to get the emitter back, and Barclay's like, if everything goes fine, it'll be all yours for the afternoon.
Consider it. And he goes,
I thought it was mine.
Yeah. Because he's now back to being restricted to just the holodeck and a few the sick
holodeck
bay.
and sick bay, yes,
like the bad old days.
And now we see the message getting sent back, and he's like, "Oh, hey, can I put in like a little report of my own? I would like to send back." And everyone's like, "Yeah, sure, go on ahead." And we cut to first the array, which like unfolds nicely to be used.
It's so cool. Like a little bit comes out. It's glowing. Great use of CGI. Lovely colors.
Not very good CGI, admittedly, at this point, but
it's 2000.
I know. Yeah.
Right, and they
especially the Ferengi ship looks a bit naff in the Corona.
A little bit, yeah. But it was too. Okay, so I say that, but at the same time, like Farscape was on the air, which looks amazing.
Yes,
but largely due to like different art direction, different tastes.
But we cut to the inside of the Ferengi ship where they are pawing at their IKEA lamp. And
there's 3 Ferengi, and the actors have done various things before. Chief, do you want to tell us about the actors who play these Ferengi?
Yeah, so the 3 actors who played the Ferengi are Michael Rivkin, who was Nunk, he was in Charmed, Tenacious D, Judging Amy, ER, Men in Black 2, really just a character actor that was in a lot of stuff, the Cable Guy. We also have Christopher Neiman, who is in Ally McBeal, The Longest Yard, and American Horror Story. And most interestingly, we have Frank Corsentino. Now, Frank Corsentino was actually Damon Bach in the TNG episode The Battle. So he is one of the originators of the Ferengis, and this is actually his last role. He did pass in 2007, but this was his last role in anything in 2000.
Did you catch any of that?
Oh, Zimmerman?
No. And you were thinking of Shimmerman.
Shimmerman, not Zimmerman. Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
yeah.
so now your confidence trick is no longer working. I don't even know if you were able to hear him the previous time.
It kind of sounded like, one of them 3 sounded like him. I could have...
One of them has played quite a few Ferengi before, that's true.
Well, then I mean, the safe bet would be, what's his face? Adjudicator.
No, it's not Jeffrey Combs.
No.
Brunt, FDA.
Yes. Okay, no, so like I said, I could have sworn that the one who's currently in this shot is on the right. That was, he sounded a lot like Shimmerman.
So now we find out what they're after. And it's...
Show me the nanoprobes.
They're ogling 7 of 9 because they want those nanoprobes.
Yes.
How many are there?
Loads.
20% more than we predicted.
Yeah. Their weight, 1 billion times their weight in gold. It's like, it better be, because or in latinum, because like nanoprobes.
They are tiny, aren't they?
Tiny. And even 3.6 million, like 10 sounds like, nano is like, how many zeros down?
Yeah, but that's like, what's the standard weight of a probe?
Well, yeah, I mean, you just go like nano. Yeah, I suppose if you're just talking about nanos.
Oh, you think nanoscale, as in
exactly,
like nanometer or nanometer?
Exactly.
I'm never quite sure.
that's the implication of a nanoprobe. It's it's measured in nanometers. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a nanoprobe; it would be a microprobe.
Maybe it's just a misspelling and it's actually a nanu probe and it's from Mork and Mindy.
Nanu. Yeah. All right, so more profit than we ever dreamed of. Ha ha ha. Okay, now we know what's going on. We know that the Barclay, the hologram, is working for the Ferengi, and they are planning to liquefy the entire crew just to get the nanoprobes.
Yeah. We cut to a slightly overcast beach.
Yeah.
This looks like a beach shot with a lot of
matte painting, a little bit of matte painting thrown in the background.
It looks a little overcast. It looks a little cold.
It is
actually.
a bit. I mean, the first shot you can see some blue sky, but on the rest it's kind of like
it's painted in.
It's kind of like grayish. There's lots of fit, hot people walking around.
Yep.
Many of them
various spots.
Yeah, they look like they're part of the crew, part of the ship. And they've just literally crawled out of the water. Again, the water there also doesn't look particularly... It looks a bit like a North Sea beach, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it would be filmed in the sort of Los Angeles area.
I mean, yeah, those beaches don't... Yeah, unless it happens to be a sunny day out, it's... Yeah.
But the sluts don't seem to mind. There's a fun green-skinned gentleman
wearing a Borat bikini.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a real deep V.
Yeah.
Who comes and brings 2 black drinks to Reg Barclay,
who has got his nose painted blue for some reason.
Is that's sunscreen? I
guess it's supposed to be. And then why the Federation they just inject some anti-cancer nanites or something? And
I don't know. I guess it's to make sure that everybody knows that, here is an unfuckable.
Right. Okay, fair.
And he's got a big straw hat, which looks really comfortable. He's also the only one wearing full covering chest wear. And these glasses, I don't understand.
Yes, there's sunglasses with an extra little layer of filter
sort of
thing.
Golf filter that flips down. I don't
think it flips up, but yeah, it's weird. Very, very weird glasses. I mean, guess they're supposed to look cool and futuristic. It must be maybe it's something about the particular lighting on that beach. We don't know if it's probably not on Earth.
Oh, fun bit from the trivia. On the chair is a logo that had no meaning at this time, but the artist later reused that when they did a book about like the world of the Federation or the map of the Federation, where it was associated with Risa.
Oh,
so the suggestion that this is the pleasure planet Risa.
All right. Okay, and who? But is there's in the sun with with her poker visor that she nicked from Data, but Counselor Troy.
And he's
Reg?
She's
Surprise!
not excited to see him. She pulls up her towel to cover up her cleavage because he has been a sex pest before.
Yes.
Indirectly, but still, he made an erotic simulation featuring her appearance, which is not okay to do.
Apparently not, no. But yes.
Do you have any idea how inappropriate it is to follow your therapist on vacation?
And he reassures her with,
they might be watching.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's a good one to start off with your therapist. That's really confidence inspiring that you're there for a good reason. And on the other hand, it might also signal that you are here for a good reason, that you're having an episode again.
Oh yeah. Still, you're right. Actually. So there's the three possibilities: either you're just being an asshole, you're really being chased, or you're having an actual episode.
Right.
And 2 out of 3 do require a therapist's attention. But
yes.
That's why you should ideally be talking to somebody else. Everybody needs a holiday, including...
Exactly. There's a backup therapist, unfortunately, I assume.
Yeah, well, he seems like a persnickety kind of guy who may not have bonded with anyone but Deanna, which... Sorry, I say a persnickety kind of guy. This is, of course, something that people go through, and the level of like trust and vulnerability that it requires for someone with whatever they have going on in their heads or their bodies to open up to someone. Well... It might be a one-time thing that you manage it.
And she's like, okay, Riker isn't here yet anyway, so I'll talk to you for a bit. She actually just starts basically therapy sessioning him. And it's like, but you're doing so well. What was going on and what was happening? And it turns out that, things had been going well for him. And he was getting along with other people. People were proud of him. His favorite sports ball team had won.
Oh, yes.
The Dragons had just won the pennant, and I was still seeing
Leosa.
You mentioned her at the party.
Yeah. And I think she's being very, very clever here.
Yeah.
Or she's just being a very good therapist, I think. Now, obviously, I don't know much about this profession. In fact, Rugger, who recommended this episode, does.
Oh, okay.
They're a caregiver with some training in this regard.
And then, then the hologram got lost, and... he got a little bit annoyed by that, and apparently that ticked off Leosa, and she left him.
Yeah.
She just completely ghosted him, apartment empty, not even a Dear Reg letter, as he puts it.
Now, this dialogue, it doesn't really sound like Deanna is... she gives a shit. If you listen to the tone of her voice...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Did it put a strain on your relationship with Leosa?
Yeah,
she
she's
left
just asking the standard questions. I'm so sorry. I don't give a toss.
But this is just because it was, they had to loop in the dialogue afterwards, which they don't normally have to do.
Yeah.
So they're not very good at it, maybe? Because they had the ocean going behind them.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Ruining that take. And she keeps gently guiding him toward Leosa and what that was like.
Right. And apparently she sensed something in it, because she's you're a little bit suspicious, aren't you? And I guess that's what she can just pick up and feel when he's talking about Leosa, that she's okay, wait, it's not all just paying for it's not all just sunshine.
Hiding for the fjords.
Yeah, exactly. There's a little bit of suspicion there as well,
which he hasn't confronted consciously.
Yeah.
I think that's why he depends on her so much.
So she says.
You think Leosa had something to do with your disappearing hologram, but you can't bring yourself to admit it.
So you're going to have to just report this to your superiors. And he's like, I can't, I'll be humiliated. And like, no, I'll go with you. It's all right. Like, Riker's not arriving until later.
Yeah.
We'll just beam from Riser back to Earth and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Right? Khan had that planet-hopping transporter now.
Yeah, like... So it's only used for plot holes. It's only used for plot holes, not for actual practical purposes.
Okay. Now I will remind you that it was seized by Starfleet intelligence and that it's been deeply classified, and he stole it from a classified archive, so it sort of holds together and makes sense. And also, he had an orbital ship, and he didn't just go planet to planet. Exactly. But all that's been cut out of the film.
Except Spock.
What do you mean?
And sorry, it wasn't Spock. It was Benadryl Cumbersnatch.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that is where you're talking about. Yes, of course. The other
he beamed from Earth onto an orbital ship, and then he warped out of there, which is not directly in the film. So it seems like it's place to place.
Because what's his face? J.J. Abrams doesn't understand dimensions and distances.
No, he doesn't care. We've been over this. He does understand it. He doesn't care because he doesn't consider them contributory to the story.
Yeah, he's like a bad storyteller in that regard.
I was watching the Empire Strikes Back, and there I also became quite sensitive to the timelines don't really seem to make a lot of sense. Like, you have to make a lot of assumptions in order to assume that less than a day has passed between Luke arriving at Dagobah and leaving later on.
Not really, because they're stuck in the asteroid belt and they have only backup hyperdrive, and you don't know how long that trip takes to get from the asteroid space to
Just like you don't know how long it actually takes to get from Earth to Vulcan. Because the interstitial bit is sort of cut away, and you only see them
but there's at least there's an explanation. We are taking the backup hyperdrive, and therefore, rather than the implication that it just happens.
I never heard the backup hyperdrive being mentioned.
It is definitely
I believe you. I never heard this.
Yeah, okay, well,
that's amazing.
I kind of counter the fact that you don't pay attention when you're watching Star Wars.
No, I'm saying this with... No, this isn't an argument. This is me delighting in this. That's so cool.
All right, anyway.
Should we give the Chief a chance to weigh on this, by the way?
I'm sure he'll have something to say. Like,
Chief, you got a little warp core plasma vent?
Okay, I actually do have a warp core to eject here, but it's not to do with Star Wars or Star Trek, because let's kind of go into stuff. So, maps, official or unofficial, they're always going to be a little iffy because we're also talking about space, which is a three-dimensional thing, and we're talking about in a science fiction thing because actual space and actual space travel doesn't make sense. So you are automatically, when you're going into these things, if you're trying to think purely logically, everything is gone, because that is not how space travel works, period. Full stop. Do not pass go. Star Wars and Star Trek, neither of them are in any way, shape, or form hard sci-fi. But that being said, I did do a little bit of digging, and the Falcon having a backup hyperdrive, that was something that was kind of retconned a little bit later. I don't see anything in the actual dialogue in it. However, you do see them, they stop in the asteroid and you see them kind of change slowly, and it's intercut with Dagobah. So the impression of time passing is there. We don't know how much time in the belly of the Exogoth trying to fix the ship. We don't know how much time Luke was on Dagobah. There's just, time is not really there. As far as the maps go, it does seem that Dagobah is a little bit farther away than Bespin and Hoth is, but Hoth and Bespin are both in the Anuit system, so really, it's really, really close. So even without a hyperdrive, they could get there. They would just get there very, very slowly, whereas Luke with a hyperdrive could get there faster and spend longer time there. So you could say that Luke was there for much longer than you really think. Okay, now let's go to Star Trek with the Benedict Cumberbatch warp core stuff. It is about 113 light years from Earth to Kronos, where Benedict Cumberbatch is shown to go. However, this is also where it gets interesting because the warp factor and the time and even the warp scale changes drastically. So it can be anywhere from 10 days to several months between them. Okay, that makes it a little more complicated and a little more frustrating to do there. And really, this is where I need to...
I say we eject the warp core!
Because the thing of this is, unless travel means something to the characters or means something to the journey, you don't need to show it. There is something that I see in a lot of fantasy that is like trying to do what Tolkien did, which is show travel. But Tolkien showed travel when it made sense to. Tolkien also did not show travel when it didn't make sense to. There are times where you don't see Gandalf going to Minas Tirith with Pippin. You just see them arriving there. You don't need to show every single time thing and every single bit of travel. And in fact, it actually can kind of hurt things, because sometimes if you try and show, well, this is a long process to get there, then if you want to make something dramatic later on, if you've shown that it takes, days to go there, and then like in the next movie, say you need to get there, by the next day, cool, there is no way to make that happen. That pulls you out of it because you've already previously established how long it takes. Aragon did that in Brizinger. Avatar did that between The Way of Water and Fire and Ash. Through that, I guess my warp core is just as a storytelling trope. Travel is such a frustrating thing because you kind of need to be a little vague on there, because if you're too specific, then you can break people out of it. If you're too vague, then there's going to be arguments online and people screaming at each other on Reddit over this stuff, and it's just not worth it. And it's just dumb because it is all for plot and for the story, and it drives me crazy sometimes. This argument has driven me crazy for 13 years. Even if you're not a fan of Into Darkness, there's more things to be more annoyed about than that.
Ooh, I think
Ouch.
we got...
Yeah, we got told.
Yeah. I think we got off lightly, honestly.
Fair. Anyway, so what happens here?
Okay, so the fact that this is an audio medium makes it hard to appreciate...
It's my favorite breakfast, but he ate them anyway.
Oh, yes.
Because that is apparently Reg delighting the entire mess hall with his impersonation.
Yes, and that's how you plant a Chekhov's gun,
Yeah, very good.
Because this becomes important later in the episode that it is the hologram is perfectly capable of imitating anybody's crew member's voice.
Yes, something that the crew are absolutely impressed and delighted by. So apparently in that timeline, they sort of skipped the whole sort of OpenAI and voice scamming shit.
Well, they probably didn't. It was probably still there, but then they just discarded everything, all data between 2020 and whenever use of AI got banned, because all that data is corrupt. We can only trust all. It's like with you know how steel from old battleships is very valuable because it's pre-nuclear detonations.
Pre-atomic.
So it's like if you want to make very sensitive radio detection instruments, you have to have pre-1945 steel.
Because everything else has more disproportionately high radiocarbon in it.
Exactly. Or not even radiocarbon, or just other isotopes, which is like tiny more amounts of background radiation. Yeah, exactly. So yes, it's quite valuable stuff these days to the point that they actually go. I mean, I'm just not sure if they do that just for the steel in general, but I know in the waters around Indonesia, several shipwrecks have disappeared.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, among one of the ones from the Dutch Navy, like the Karel Doorman, I believe, was sunk in there. And
wow,
it's just
like theft, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely not. I don't think it's like absolutely. Like the shipwreck was here. It's also like, it's also a maritime grave. So it's like, it's also, grave robbery in that regard. It's like, they're more upset about that really than about like, okay, the steel, like, good luck. But there was definitely been several ships, not just that one, have just like disappeared. Like we know there was a wreck here and it's now gone. And from the evidence on the seafloor, it looked like someone actually just took it apart here or just lifted it up and made off with it.
Huh. And now European governments suddenly care a lot about this because it sucks when it happens to you, doesn't it? Hey.
So yes, he is talking a little bit about how...
You see, it's always bothered Lieutenant Barclay that he was uncomfortable in large groups.
So he designed me to be the life of the party. So I think that's actual Barclay, because that's how Barclay...
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of what he did like on the holodeck, where on the holodeck he created an environment in which it was comfortable for him to act like that. And here he...
save that for that scene. We're going to have to talk about that scene because I think, and Rugger as well, thinks that that's absolutely critical here. But yeah, it makes sense for Reg to have programmed this because he's smart enough to realize, the thing that always makes it difficult for my ideas to find fruition is that people don't believe in them because they don't like me.
Right. Yeah.
So if I'm going to send a version, then it should be likable so that they can, they have more faith in the things I'm conveying.
The doctor goes and gets Reg to report to the holodeck because they were going to play golf.
Yes. And he's dressed so adorably.
Yeah.
He's
like
he's got a little bow tie.
Yeah, like this is like, I guess, Victorian.
Tweedy jacket.
Yeah.
Later than Victorian, based on the cap, I imagine.
Well, I have no idea. I mean, my anything I know about Victorian golf would be related to Jeeves and Wooster. But that's Victorian art.
Yeah, but exactly.
Yeah,
we don't really know
there,
Edwardian, Elizabethan,
so
like
later,
all kind of. It's just old-timey.
Pebble Beach at sunset, the back nine at GD Prime.
Little Dune reference there.
Yeah.
And
GD Prime is the
Harkonnen planet.
Oh, great. That's going to be a problem to finding your ball.
That's a good joke. I really enjoyed that.
Anyway, yes.
And when Reg says he doesn't have time for this, the Doctor sort of stops him and tries to go up.
When I agreed to lend you my emitter, I did it with the understanding that you needed it for official business.
What's your point?
And now he turns to the next phase of gaslighting, and that's dominating. Because the Doctor tries to sort of negotiate, like, hey, you shouldn't be using it for non-essential things. And Reg goes, oh, and I suppose golf is? Yeah. And he's very aggressive here.
Oh, yes. But he makes a compromise.
When we get back home, we'll play as much golf as you like. Until then, let's try to keep out of each other's hair.
And then, this is the best part of Dwayne Schultz's acting, in my opinion. And it's like the how the face goes from like kind of menacing to open and friendly again, and
even his eyes.
Oh yeah, no, this is some good acting.
That's a really good choice, because he could have played this that the smile is there but the eyes aren't.
Right? Yeah, no, totally.
But he doesn't.
And the Doctor is like perfect. A bit like okay, and he's like the Doctor is getting suspicious.
It's a brilliant move, which leads me to think that this is, this part is Ferengi programming again, that he has this script for how you do gaslighting to someone.
Yeah.
And that if there was more time, that he'd take it easier.
Right.
Because this is quite a risky gambit. You're creating antagonism, but he's hoping that the shock and surprise will last long enough for him to complete his mission before the Doctor realizes that, he actually needs to do something. Speaking of confidence tricks.
Ah, yes. Leosa has been apprehended.
Yeah, she's in a weirdly sort of modern office with backlit windows with a Starfleet emblem on them. And the whole Starfleet crew is there, all in uniform. Reg, Deanna, Pete Harlan, and Admiral Paris, Tom's father.
Oh, right. That's in one. Who asks?
Occupation?
Not really. This is a post-scarcity society. We don't have it.
Apparently she does.
Yeah.
She's a Dabo girl.
Yeah.
It's a Ferengi game.
Works about one of their casino ships.
But...
You told me you were a teacher.
Sometimes I'm a teacher.
Sometimes I'm a Bajoran Vedic.
Whatever the customer wants.
Yeah.
There's some implications there, I would say.
Yeah. She might be an adult performer or a sex worker, but she's also kind of a shit because she's participating in a confidence trick against someone. And Starfleet's...
Did he ever discuss his work at Pathfinder with you?
She's like, oh my God, he didn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
On and on and on and on, and like it was so boring.
And she lies to their face when he asks.
And who did you share that information with?
Nobody.
No, absolutely not.
No. And she even claims that she left Reg for one simple reason.
He's boring.
Yeah. Deanna is like, not buying it.
Yeah. And so she decides to break her ethical codes and the law and threaten a suspect in order to extract a confession through threats of...
5 minutes, Admiral.
Yeah.
And leave your letter opener.
Yeah. How do we feel about this? Because she threatens, incarceration, but...
You can't send me to prison, counselor.
But...
Yeah?
Maybe not. But I can order you held for psychiatric observation.
Yeah.
Okay.
On no grounds except that she wants to.
Yeah.
Which is a huge breach of professional ethics.
Oh, yeah,
and
totally.
A violation of someone's...
I know that House does it at some point.
That's not a great example.
No, I know, right?
That's not a great example. How does one live with oneself?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, she, I guess, the greater good, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Well, then just grab the letter opener and
I mean, that would also work.
Yeah.
It's not her style, I guess.
No,
I mean,
which is...
breaking your medical oaths and your not confidentiality, but yes, much better way to do it.
Is it Kay though? Is it?
I don't know. It's like
it seems less.
It seems a bit out of character for Troy.
And I know it's supposed to be played as a tough act, and yes, this was the 90s and 2000s, and like the ends justify the means sometimes, but I was a little bit disappointed in Indiana here.
But she does get the information. Ferengi did steal the hologram twice.
And she helps them find this particular ship, that's a Ferengi Marauder. And you know what? I've just realized why the Voyager and DS9 CGI probably look so clunky compared to Farscape.
Mm-hmm.
Farscape could do entirely its own thing with its special effects shop because it was all CGI.
Yeah.
But Voyager and DS9, they still had like a mix of model work and optical effects and CGI. And so the CGI had to look like the models.
Yeah, I guess they had to conform to the existing art style.
Yeah, exactly. The way that they're usually lit and the depth of field. So they just didn't have the flexibility to hide the artifacts of their CGI at the time.
So, yes, there's a little bit of blah, blah, blah. What's happening? Why are the Ferengi doing what they want? It's quite simple. They're doing it for profit. They just don't know why yet, what they're trying to steal.
Yep. And it's all about the hologram at this point, because that's all they know that the Ferengi have stolen, this hologram. And
the Ferengi wouldn't have stolen the hologram if they didn't think it was valuable.
And the
Carolina is 0.7 light years away. At maximum warp, it could reach them in 2 hours.
Get the Carolina over there.
And while they're discussing the tactics, Reg goes over to, or Barclay, we should say Barclay for him and Reg for the hologram.
Sure.
Goes over to Leosa, who's just playing with her earrings and...
Everything that happened between us a lie?
Oh, not everything. Only the parts where I cared for you.
Jesus. She's got her own letter opener between his ribs.
But she does let go what the actual target is.
Yeah.
It's like she gets 10% of what?
Profits from the nanoprobes.
Oh. Borg nanoprobes?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well. In that case, now they know what's the plan. Or at least they know what the score is.
Yep. I like to think that Reg really was, like, trying an angle here. I don't know that for sure. It sounds like Reg was...
I think Reg was being his insecure self.
Yeah, I mean, he did have affection for this woman, or who he thought she was, and he enjoyed their time together, and he's heartbroken. But his problem has always been hyper-focus on the job. Like, that's also been a superpower.
Yeah.
So I kind of like to think that he was also just trying a different angle to get some intelligence out of her, and he did.
It seems to he's much too socially aware for his normal state of being.
I don't know that he necessarily gamed out that this was the approach he was going to take, but created a circumstance where it might be possible to happen. Because as soon as he hears nanoprobes,
it clicks. Or at least, I mean, not that it makes a difference. At least they know what they're after.
Yes, exactly, because the mystery is not yet solved.
No, the Doctor, meanwhile, is talking to the Captain, who is trying to sow a little bit of dissent for Reginald, I guess. He's being a little bit of a whiny bitch himself. Like, did you know? He's telling to the teacher.
Are you aware that he's been doing impressions of you?
Yeah.
Like the one of Tuvok is really good.
The sincerest form of flattery. Actually, it's a really good comparison because he's in the Reg position now.
Yes.
Right, the Doctor, he doesn't have the same freedom and agency, and like people don't see him around every day. Like he's cloistered away.
Yeah, good point.
And so he has trouble convincing people of his lived experience.
Yes. I mean, this is the classic gaslighting victim scenario.
Yeah.
You know, when you're talking to, like, okay, this person is being mean to me and making my life difficult. Oh, no, he's such a nice guy. He would never do that. So, yeah, this is very classic, gaslighting. But
I heard a brilliant joke that about that like it has to be triggered by somebody saying something about a type of lighter. And then you go, oh, did you hear the joke about the gas lighter? And then they go, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. I told you yesterday. Yes, no, you didn't tell me yesterday. Yes, I did. You're going crazy.
Wow. Okay, that's mean but funny. So, but here's what she says.
Barclay is a friend of yours. And I'm sorry if the holographic version hasn't lived up to your expectations, but that's hardly
the real
reason
Barclay
to
is a friend of
deactivate him.
the real of the Doctor, of the hologram Doctor, I guess, is what we're getting here.
They must have had some connection in an earlier episode. See, but this is season 7, and I've got huge gaps in my memory. There were lots of them that I didn't see day and date, but much later in my life, and they just haven't embedded themselves in my memory as well as the earlier ones.
But he manages to get, he makes a good point to the captain. In all fairness, Janeway actually listens to him and agree with him, because he's like,
do you want to risk being led through it by a malfunctioning hologram?
And she's like, okay, I mean, yeah, he sounds like he's overacting and being a little bit too sensitive, but she's like, okay, yeah, no, fair point. Like, it's not going to cost us anything to run a quick diagnostic on Reg's hologram.
And Reg hologram agrees.
Of course, yeah.
And if the ship's doctor thinks I need a checkup, who am I to argue?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about some of the people who thought that the second half sort of fell apart, or that it wasn't a lot of fun. There is a tension. No, it's suspense, right?
Yeah.
In the Hitchcock described the difference between surprise and suspense is like you have a dinner party scene and the dialogue is really interesting and all the characters are you're following what's happening. They've got their little dramas, and then suddenly hidden bomb under the table explodes and everyone dies. That's surprise.
That's surprise, yeah.
And the next one is the exact same scene, except from our point of view with the camera, we can see the time bomb under the table.
Right.
And while everyone's talking, that's suspense. Because now everything that happens is always in relation to this thing that the characters don't know.
Yeah.
So this is a sort of a dead end, because Reg submits to the analysis and it works out. It checks out, and he even makes friends with the doctor afterwards. And this is for us, the children in the audience, yelling, "No, he's right behind you!" And everybody goes, "Oh no, he isn't."
Yes.
That's the game that's being played, and it's a good one.
Very good. Yeah, that's an interesting director's choice. I got to say that. Yeah.
Because back in the compound Starfleet HQ, the Pathfinder project, we get this gorgeous moving shot past the Tucker tubes and all the other things that people are doing. And then it looks like the console of the TARDIS. It's a hexagonal control with
a little bit,
where Reg is just sitting there on his own. And Deanna comes up and asks,
"Why are you hiding in the corner?"
I'm not, I'm working.
And he's trying to figure out the Ferengi's plans, because he can't work out what their strategy is. They want nanoprobes, but Voyager's in the Delta Quadrant, and they stole his hologram. So
that gave them time to reprogram it and then smuggle it to Voyager in the next transmission.
And she asks, well, what would they want with the simulation technology? But he says that's just one of the things the nanoprobes can do. Yeah.
They can reanimate necrotic tissue, slow down the aging process. They'd be priceless for the Ferengi.
And she's like, well, that's like, even if they did manage that, like, how can they get them back? Because, like, Voyager is way too far away.
And she asks him to, ask other people for help. But Reg has been through this before, and he knows that he's cried wolf too often, because...
If I don't bring him hard evidence, he'll just think that I'm fantasizing.
Yep. So now we get to the scene where the hologram is being checked out and everything is fine, and, like, friends. Like, it feels kind of forced, but still there.
Yeah, but, like, if the doctor is convinced, then we know that, oh, shit, they're not going to figure this out.
No.
They're completely lost.
Now that that's out of the way, Captain, what do you say we get the ship back to Earth?
So the Ferengi initiates the geodesic pulse.
It's kind of cool.
It does look kind of cool, yeah.
It's like there's a shield around this red star with multiple layers that's sort of glowing in response to this beam that they're shooting out. And I do like the look of that Ferengi ship. The Marauder got the cool sort of scarab look to it.
It looks a bit like I don't know, like a Aztec crest or something.
Ooh, yes. It's got the same sort of like bum as the Millennium Falcon. It's got that circular.
That too. Yeah. No, I see what you mean. So there's like, there it happens. The shield is opening.
Yeah, that's Voyager notices the effects on their red giant star, bring the enhanced shielding online. But the
fold contains 3 radiation types we didn't account for.
Says Seven from Astrometrics, where she's working with HoloReg, who says, no, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. If the shields fail, the inoculations will be irrelevant, she says. And now he reaches into her head and knocks her out.
Okay. Apparently this is something that holograms can do, which we weren't previously aware of.
Because she's about to inform the captain that
that's no bueno. We abort, full reverse.
And he knocks her out and then impersonates her.
7,
There was a problem, Captain. But I've corrected it.
Yep.
Oh, no.
By Reginald, yeah.
And Reg does come up with a solution. Let me see.
He's counterhacked the...
I'm using the Midas array to tap into the Ferengi ship's sensors.
Clever.
So
that happened off screen, so we didn't get to see that aha moment that he figured out. He brought the evidence to Harkins. I've been saying his name wrong this whole time.
But he is saying, like, okay, so if they did manage to put the hologram, then it might have been possible that he's taken over the ship, because, like, the situation that we are seeing in the worm, let's call it a wormhole or the rift, the geodesic rift, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, sure.
Is clearly not safe to go through, and Janeway would immediately see that, and yet the ship continues its approach.
Yeah, so there must be something going on. Can we warn Voyager? No, not through a geodesic dome, or I keep wanting to say it.
Geodesic fold, yes.
Not through a geodesic fold.
There we go. Let me see.
The Ferengi are meanwhile fantasizing about what they're going to do with the money.
Oh, and then...
Someone's hailing us.
And we see Voyager's engine room.
Yeah.
And what looks like HoloReg. And did you figure it out immediately?
Oh, yes.
I know.
Yeah.
I think you weren't supposed to, like, be fooled for a second, but instead be delighted. This is Reg. Barclay impersonating
Barclay, yes.
Reg. I mean, he's got this posture that shy people think looks confident. Like, it's sort of crossed arms, but actually hugging your chest.
Yes.
Is what he's doing.
He is like, oh no, abort. Captain Janeway figured out about the plan, and she found a way to protect the ship, and blah, blah, blah.
They're skeptical a bit.
Impossible!
You don't know Janeway. She's uncanny when it comes to shields. She's furious, and we can see Troy and Paris standing there, like watching
off-screen,
Reginald.
looking at him. Yeah, that's great. That's a great thing to do with someone who has, like, anxieties
moral
or, like,
support,
performance issues. Yeah. Standing that close and just staring right at him.
Maybe keeping him on script. I don't know.
What are they gonna do?
I don't know.
But the Ferengi say,
go to war before Janeway makes it through.
No, don't do that, because
you have to close it.
Yeah. Of course, it has Borg interquadrantal warp drives, which is why they're still stuck there. Hydrogen hunting sensors and Vidian phase torpedoes.
Where you run, Voyager will find you.
Yeah, there you go. Close it. Close the door.
This is what Rucker said that I hadn't noticed when I was watching this episode.
Mm-hmm.
All of his brilliance in figuring out what the Ferengi were doing doesn't help anyone.
No.
This is the moment that he actually does help people. Convincing them to do something for no reason, not because of his technical insight, but he has to, on the spot, come up with a way to convince people to believe him.
Play on the Ferengi's cowardice.
Right, but like figuring out that that's the choice to make, that's a huge step for Reg, being able to model somebody else's expectations and like not stumbling over his words and delivering it with confidence. That's huge.
I believe the phrase is.
Yep. They close the geodesic fold and they leave.
It worked, Reg.
And he says, computer, end program, and I don't know if it's filmed in the same
probably
holodeck.
It looks exactly the same. I literally have that as one of my notes. It's saying like they got a lot of money's worth out of the holodeck set in this. But on Voyager, it is not yet over because something is wrong, Captain. Astrometrics, like, why are we stopping? The fold's collapsing. Oh no, we're not making it in time.
And Reg tries to convince them to go, but...
I appreciate your determination, but we can't risk it. You did everything you could.
Oh no, side-to-side transport detected. They're like 7 of 9, and Reg have been beamed into an escape pod and are trying to make their way through the rift.
Yeah, and we see an outside shot of Voyager in the halo of this red giant. Just a hatch opens up, and an escape pod ejects, which they can't lock onto because
there's too much interference from the fold.
Yep.
And it's gone.
Get a transporter lock, not a transponder.
We cut to the Ferengi who see there's something coming through the fold. Oh no!
A phase torpedo.
I love that.
Shields.
Brace for impact, and it's like
yeah,
clunk.
And they've got a little display where it sort of bzzz, and it vanishes. Oh, it was only an escape pod. And they go, ooh.
Maybe the hologram sent us the drone.
Which was clearly the last-ditch thing that the hologram was programmed to do, or at least, like, came up with, don't know.
But
Oh, no, it's empty.
Nothing.
So this is the only area where I think it's fair to have some criticism about the writing, because why is there nothing in there?
Because they beamed them out again at the last moment. That's literally what they say. It's like,
Harry, can you get a transporter lock?
And then
it cuts away, and we don't see. And then, like, the suspense is held until the Ferengi realize that the escape pod is empty,
right.
and we from that we can deduct that the transport was successful.
Yeah,
they grabbed 7 in time, and Reginald, who is then being deactivated. But so they have to like finish analyzing the program, and I mean, Kim is moping over something that's called Mom's apple pie. It doesn't look like any apple pie that I've ever seen.
It looks like it might be a pandan cake.
Yes, or
it's got a
lime
fluffy filling,
or some key lime pie. You know, that's kind of like a lime jelly filling. That's kind of what it looks
nice.
like. It could be. I mean,
I like pandan, and I like lime.
I know, right? But like, you know, jelly fillings are kind of like hit and miss.
Oh,
and I'm
but
saying,
it doesn't
like,
look jelly-y. It doesn't look fluffy.
Does it?
Oh, does it?
I think it looks a bit like jelly-y.
Well, I just had a big bowl of jelly, actually. Like, I found out that our local Toco has actual Jell-O.
Okay.
Well, the American version, which I've never had before, so I tried to make that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gelatin
and sugar. Yeah,
and sugar and coloring.
Yeah,
it's like
and it's fun.
Sure. Okay, yeah, if you like that sort of thing, but like I said, like with most jellies, they're hit and miss, and then like in the way that carnival games are hit and miss, there's a very, very small chance that it hits.
Well, I guess we're lucky that we don't live in like American suburbia in the 70s where they jellied everything.
Yes.
Jelly salads and like jellied
aspic,
eel.
Yes.
Aspic, what's that?
It's kind of like jelly, but it's the stuff that you get when it's basically gelatin if you have to boil it out from bones, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's the leftovers you often get on thick soups and stuff. You get this little jelly-like layer floating if you leave them in the...
oh, right.
I don't know. Have you ever made any homemade soup? But yeah.
Don't think so.
No, it's...
Oh, we have an American on the crew. Hey, Chief, have you ever like had jellied anything as part of your cuisine? No, I don't mean like a dessert. I mean like something, I don't know, jellied moose noses, which I think is a Canadian thing.
You've got jellied eel pie. That's a thing in certain parts of the UK.
That does sound nice, actually.
I mean, if it's good eel. I
suppose,
right? Yeah.
Okay, I never had jellied anything. I had Jell-O, but never really like jellied anything that I can really think of. I mean, bacon jam maybe. I've had a jalapeno jam, but that's jamming. That is a different process than jellied like eel or whatever. Because my parents grew up in the era of like Jell-O and everything, and guess what? They hated it. They look back at that time and like scream in like abject terror. So no, I was never indoctrinated into that.
Anyway, so
he's moping because this is, I think, the 9th or 14th, depending on how you count, chance that to instantly get home that Voyager has been teased with.
This is the 9th or 14th Harry Kim that we have on this, depending on...
Ooh, there have been a lot of Harry's Kim.
I know, right? Yeah.
From the French. And speaking of gaslighting,
yeah,
Tom and B'Elanna show up to with their friends.
Oh, yes. The captain doesn't want to get his hopes up, but personally I think we'll be home by the end of next week.
I mean, they even play it at first like...
I was on the bridge this morning when we received a hail from an Iconian scientist.
And he goes, hey...
I'm not that gullible.
Yeah. I know,
but then B'Elanna says, no, it's true, I saw it too. And he goes, are you serious? And they go,
you were right about him.
The asshole.
Yeah.
It's so mean.
Yes. Especially to a sweetheart as Kim.
I know. Like, you know that he has this one thing. He has this optimism that is indomitable, and now you're going to...
Yeah.
This is his coping mechanism.
Yeah, and like, I mean, the expression that on the actor's face there is just absolutely gold.
Like, what do you want? Do you want him to be as cynical as you? Do you want him to be more unhappy than you?
So.
Is that,
is that
what you want for your friend?
Like shared misery is half misery or something.
Not in this case.
No.
Computer, install Barclay security protocol.
Oh, no, it is Barclay.
21 Alpha.
Yeah. There is at one point where he says broccoli, I think.
Oh, no, that is mentioned, but I thought it was I think
I saw that in the trivia. Let me see if I can find that.
You mentioned it early on, and I thought, was that maybe the original name of the character before they renamed him Barclay? I don't know.
No, it was a nickname that he had on the Enterprise that Captain Picard went, hey, this is unbecoming, until he accidentally calls him Mr. Broccoli
himself, yeah.
And he just freezes.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, so Troy shows up, and you can use security precautions, like you should have done that in the first place, but anyway, I guess you're going back to the beach, and she's like, no, we're going to Tiburon, and we'd like to hook you up with someone else.
Yeah. It's cute when he gets invited along, but he says,
I wouldn't want to be a third nacelle.
Not possible.
What happened to the Enterprise D?
That hasn't happened yet. That's a future.
Oh,
that's a future version.
It's not.
What?
I mean, the Enterprise D shows up in the last episode of Next Generation.
No. See, that is an upgraded version of the Enterprise D with a third nacelle. That is true.
Sure.
From an alternate future, but that future does not come to pass because the actual Enterprise D with 2 nacelles crashes on Viridian 3 in Generations, and then is a new ship, the Sovereign class Enterprise E.
Yeah.
Yes, but that was an alternate future that has not occurred.
Yeah, but you should know about that. It's still apparently there's a thing to be said about 3 nacelle designs, and you should know that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just showy offy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, clearly there must be a reason for it. Anyway.
And they're bringing a friend, and he goes,
This Meryl wouldn't happen to be a Dabo girl by any chance.
No, she's a teacher because we've taken security precautions.
God, that's like, that was probably the most awkward scene in the entire episode, that last one.
Well, we've got to end somehow.
Yes, and we usually do it with...
So thank you to Rugger for that recommendation, because I really enjoyed coming through this again with so his Cassandra syndrome, Reg Barclay on the one hand, that's always been his plot arc in every episode that he's been in.
Yeah.
The sort of dark mirror, Reg, who was a gaslighter, but then also Barclay actually manifesting those qualities for himself.
Yeah, and making actual progress.
Yeah.
So is that what you think was...
So fucking cool.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That is the thing that I thought was so cool. Yeah, I should have waited for that.
So
how about you, Kay?
Oh, I mean, okay, let's as long as we can detach the art from the performer.
I know, yes.
I'm going to have to give it to Dwight Schultz's acting in this one.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, that's definitely, especially that scene with the doctor where you can see the various emotions flicker over his face. That's that's top-notch acting there.
Yeah, because he's completely convincing.
Yeah.
Just totally charming in those moments.
But also actually being a little bit menacing towards the doctor.
Yeah.
It's how about we do the thing you want afterwards and not see each other until then. That'd be fine, right?
Yeah. The sort of cold threat and coming in. Yeah, absolutely.
And doctor should recognize that. Should be somewhere in his programming. I guess emergency.
How you deal with problematic patients.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have to deal with people who are in pain and in distress and know what they're like. But how about your
Captain's log supplemental?
Oh, let's see.
What's a deleted scene that you imagine?
All right, so it's tempting to go with the reason that Troy and Riker decided to spend the rest of their vacation on Tiburon was because, like the episode where Picard is trying to practice his flute and there's a line out to his office, she saw the line behind Barclay of all her other patients standing on the beach there waiting for her to...
no!
But no, I'm going to have to go for the Clue scene, which is... Clue is in the game, Clue. Troy in the Admiral's office with the blowtorch and the letter opener.
Oh no, that's awful. I don't want that for Troy, but okay. I don't really know what to do about that one. Whew.
So what about yours?
I wanted to do something with Seven, escaping from Reg before the holiday, but I sort of missed the bit that Harry Kim was ordered to beam her out before that managed. So maybe even that beam out just didn't work.
All right.
Now, what would Seven do to a hologram that she didn't really that she didn't really like.
For a starter, she would have had to regain consciousness.
Regain consciousness. Hey, she had to get the transponder back, the mobile emitter.
Maybe when Barclay stuck his hand into her, some of her nanobots infected
made it up through the holographic data stream
and infected the mobile emitter, and like she managed to hack that and get out of there.
Interesting.
That sounds like a 7 thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, good for her. Thank you. Thank you to Rugger for recommending this week's episode. And if you'd like to recommend an episode,
you can go to joyoftrek.com.
That's the one.
/links.
Yeah.
Not links, but links. And leave a suggestion for an episode that you love more than anybody else, or that has a special significance to you.
Yeah. So there's Rugger's like the perspective of the social anxiety, and let me see what they say as well. Because Barclay cannot save the day with engineering or cleverness. He has to talk, which is pretty huge.
Oh, no, absolutely.
And like completing that arc that he finds his voice and he's able to save his friends with it is really, really fantastic. So thank you so much. There's also links to submit a story if you want to hear us reading a particular piece of fanfic. There's some qualifiers for stories that we look for. You'll find those in the form. And of course, a link to our Patreon where you become one of the ranks of our lemon-stealing whores who help us keep the light on. And you get a bonus episode every month.
Where we usually review another episode that we've recently watched, but sometimes there's a little wild card thrown in there, and we breach the temporal hood with our chief engineer, so we can comment on or completely ignore an episode, depending on how the mood strikes us.
And in a recent or future or like distant past one, depending on how it works with the temporal vortex, while you were away, the chief engineer joined me, and I selected some stories for him to read. And yeah, I made some picks that we probably wouldn't have picked on the usual episode. So tune in for that one.
So let's see. That means we have to figure out what the chief has prepared for the next
time on an all-new episode of Star Trek.
Star Trek. I love how he says that.
Star Trek, yeah.
So we have some clues. Are you ready?
Bring it on.
Clue number 1.
Still no help for the Klingon.
Oh, poker.
Oh, yes. So TNG, data, yeah. That sounds about right, yeah.
Maybe Q, but...
Yeah, it sounds like,
That's poker, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right, next one.
My Aunt Adele cleared a lot of sleepless nights with this steamed milk.
My Aunt Adele?
I think that's Beverly Crusher.
Sounds like the kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe, yeah.
Oh, I have a memory, so I think this is like mid-Next Generation.
Yeah, okay.
Thereabouts, all right.
I'd like to run an optical diagnostic. For an ear infection?
Optical diagnostic.
For an ear infection? Maybe something with Geordi?
Oh, someone's hacked his
visor?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
Ooh, it's a mystery.
This is highly improbable.
Okay, it doesn't narrow it down?
No.
Well, we've got 2 more clues.
All hands abandon ship. Repeat, all hands abandon.
Oh, yeah.
Is that one of the time loop episodes?
Time loop episode. Yeah. That's right. Yes. The poker episode that they play over and over again.
Right. Yes. Exactly. And then they start predicting which cards is going. Yeah.
Because memories make it through. All right.
Exactly.
Last clue.
To date, we've encountered 2,085 conspicuous examples of the number 3.
Yes, that's the one. I don't know what the title is.
No, but it's
I think we still win. And it's...
All right, it's time to play cards and blow up the Enterprise 1,000 times because the episode is Cause and Effect. TNG 518.
Oh, awesome. Looking forward to that.
All right. I guess that leaves us only with one more thing to do.
I'm leaving Starfleet.
Energize!
We hope you've enjoyed this week's episode with your friends Kay and Kaki. Production, editing by our chief engineer Greg, and music by Fox Amore. Join us next time for Cause and Effect TNG 518. Visit joyoftrek.com/links to send us recommendations, support us on Patreon, or to find us on Blue Sky. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to The Joy of Trek, and we'll see you out there.